Cool. Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, what's up? Don't mind the rag. It's hot. It's like 90 degrees, so I'm like super hot. Yeah, we're gonna get into it for sure. It's been a while, man. I haven't done a live in a minute. It's just been so hot here. Like we've had just heat waves every single day. I haven't really had a break, so I've been going through my own thing. So I just haven't had the time to do it. Yeah, a lot of people were waiting for this one. I got so many messages about this stuff last night and this morning. Let's go. We'll just wait another second. Yeah, I mean she did for sure. We'll get to it in a second. I live in Oregon. It's like 90 right now. It's been between like 90 and 100 every single day. It's been pretty annoying. Oh, what's up, Rashonda? Kyra posted some stuff. We'll get to it. Oh yeah, so you probably got the same weather there, Quincy. Hey, Apuck, I saw that Kyra thinks we don't know she's with Preston. Yeah. I think she's been getting those like subtle hints lately, though. You know what I mean? Okay, so I guess we can just get started. We got enough people in here. All right, so to begin, we have this one, which she put up a poll. You know, this is so random, but I'm curious. Basically, is alcohol, drugs, etc., an addiction or disease? And I think I didn't click on the poll, like how much there was. I think, did she remove it? Hold on, let me see. Did she remove it? I think people said she deleted it. I don't know if she deleted the poll, though. Let me see. Because I want to see how much. I know she put it up. Okay, so 43% say it's a choice and 57% say it's a disease, which that's pretty even, you know what I mean? And I agree that it is a disease. And I know a lot of people believe that Kyra doesn't have any right to an opinion. And I know people are mad at her for it, but you also got to think this is from her own like experience and her own trauma, because we all know that like Kyra's like really traumatized from her mother. So like this is what she thinks of her mom, and she's allowed to believe whatever she wants. I believe it's a mixture of everything. You know what I mean? I mean, my dad, he died from using a dirty needle. He was addicted to meth. He was lost 100%. Um, but addiction kind of affects more than just one person. You know what I mean? It can affect the whole family, and it did because of my dad. He, because of his addiction, we suffered. You know, obviously in a different way than he did, but we did. You know what I mean? Because he was lost. Well, you know, me and my sisters didn't have a father, and all the weight of the brunt of the responsibility of raising um 4 children, 3 which were his, was put on my mom, which was extremely hard within our life. So um this is such a controversial topic, like like people get super upset, but like to me, like when it comes to my dad, like yes, I feel bad for him. Yes, he was lost, and yes, I do consider what he had a disease, but he also put us through a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So it's just so hard when you're the one that kept, or that you're the one that goes through it yourself, and it's like your parent or whatever. It's hard to like, it's really hard for me to sympathize with my dad, even though I know he was lost, even though I know he had a problem. It's hard for me to sympathize for him because he because we suffered. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just so confusing. And so we don't know what, you know, Kyra's mom, you know, put Kyra through. Obviously, we know she's extremely like traumatized from her mother. So we don't know in full what she did. I do think though that Kyra should kind of think about it more than just like because I don't know. I saw some comments. I watched YouTuber Headlines video, and somebody said they were they make it people who say that like addiction is a choice. They act like it's like you can order something from Starbucks, like you can choose to have this or that. But I didn't really like that comment because that's not true, and that's like way different. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. There was someone else that left a comment saying at first it becomes a choice, but then eventually it becomes a disease because after you take it for so long and it's just messes with your hormones and the chemistry within your brain, just all this stuff. So it's, I don't know. It's, I don't know, man. It's such a iffy thing. She has the right to her own opinion. Growing with an addict gives her the right to be, but she doesn't need to lump everyone together just because of her experience with her mom. It doesn't make that universal. Exactly. That's what I agree upon too, is that, you know, Kyra, that's her experience with her mom. If she believes that her mom like abandoned her, that's fine. You know, if from her experience, if she believes that you know, drugs and alcohol addiction are a choice, then that's from her. But like maybe she should have said it was a choice within her like spectrum, with like within her life. Because I do agree that like addiction is not universal, because there are people who do suffer from addiction, right? They do suffer from addiction and they don't really cause any harm except for them to themselves. And then there's like other addictions where it affects kind of like everyone like within the family and some friends. And then there's some people who use their addictions or their habits to cause issues. Like I never really considered my stepdad, but technically he's my stepdad. He was horrible. He's a horrible person, and he's addicted to all sorts of things, and he uses them as an excuse to do these horrible things. You know what I mean? And because not and I wouldn't label him a victim, because you know he abused me and my mother. So the only victims there was like us, you know what I mean? So it's just it's there's such a broad, you know, spectrum when it comes to addictions. It's not universal, absolutely. So she should have said it was like within like what her life pertained, because like in mine, you know, with my dad and like my stepdad, like obviously those are two different addictions. You know, my dad wasn't highly abusive at all, he was just lost. But my stepdad was a piece of shit monster and still is to this day. I have a family that are addicts, no doubt. Yeah. Addiction is a disease. An addict's brain is wired differently, making them more likely to become an addict. That's why people can quit smoking easily while others can't. It's likely to be genetic. Yeah, that's true. Enough about you, what happened. Hey, I'm just giving examples here. You know what I mean? I'm giving examples upon what's going on here. Okay, so we'll move on, but we will move on to, let's see, move on to this next one. Hang on. Oh, there we go. So Kyra goes on to say that, I'm sorry to say, cancer is a disease. Choosing drugs over your family or friends, or I'm pretty sure she meant daughter, but she's like daughter or whatever the hell that says, because you are struggling is not a disease. Those are two different things, you know, because no one ever would decide, you know, when it, like I said, you know, when you try something drug related, that's your choice to choosing, and then you get addicted and it causes all kinds of things to happen to you. Okay, that's where like the disease comes in. But she's comparing that to cancer that can just like a tumor randomly pop up in your body. Those are two different situations. Yeah, I agree, Sarah. It was rude. Just giving examples, bro. No, she cannot spell. All right. She needs help with her excuse disease for breaking up her family. Yeah, true. I mean, dude, Kyra ain't no saint, man. She's causing her own trauma, you know. Sorry, it's hot, guys. I'm wiping sweat off me. I know, right? I'm talking about my own like past trauma or experiences, and I'm like, enough about your garbage. Um, yeah, I saw that they're gone. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, uh, because you're struggling with disease. Yeah. So she's comparing two different things, like cancer and like addiction. Not even they don't. Those two things don't correlate, man. They don't. She's going to have a nervous breakdown soon with all her bad choices. Never know. The pain meds I took for my physical disease made me an addict. Thankfully, I'm 7 years sober. That's yeah, and that can happen. I remember what was it? I was going through something. What was it? I can't remember what I was dealing with, but I had to take like painkillers, and it kind of made me really cranky and irritable and kind of a dick. So um, like I understand that these things can change you, and dude, I'm so anti-drug. I'm super anti-drug because of my dad, like, within my family, dude, I'm, like, the only guy on, like, my male side of the family who isn't, like, addicted. I broke that vicious cycle, man. Um, thanks, but, honestly, even though I went through all that stuff, I still I don't know. Like, my dad was, like, lost, right? And I don't hold anything against my dad. Like, I don't even say anything negative against my dad. I don't even think he abandoned us. You know what I mean? I just think, again, he was lost, but he, I believe that he's in a better place. I mean, he was lost. He was highly addicted to meth. He was living in the woods. He was living a terrible life, and it sucked. And him, passing, he's way better off. Like, he's free. Like, he's actually free from his addiction. And it's sad that it took like death for him to, be free. But I believe that's the only thing that would free him. And I think that's what finally brought him his peace. And, I believe he's in heaven and all that stuff. 100%. He's there up there with my son. 100% believe that. Hold on, let me scroll back up. Oscar's no better. He's been cheating on Kyra for years, but at least they support each other with parenting. Yeah, Ruby, where'd you get that from? We want sources. Hey, look, if you got sources, let's do this. Like, we'll put it up. Kyra clearly isn't in a place to look at addiction from a different perspective, which is okay. But to say addiction is not a disease is not based in any sort of research, and that could just be from our experience. Like I said, I have my own opinions about like drugs and alcohol because of my own experience with it, but that's also only within my, perspective. It's not universal. Like somebody else said, it's not a universal thing. Like, not all addictions are the same. It's probably Kyra. Yeah, you never know, man. I want to say the trauma her kids will have from being exploited, the trauma they may incur from mom leaving dad for the nanny's husband. Those were choices, in my opinion. Yeah, those were choices. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to get a drink. I'm going to mute myself for a second. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Oh, is there we go. Okay, so Kyra goes on to say, I don't know if this is another poll, but she says it's hard to cope when you know a family member who struggled with drugs. Mom chose me over drugs. And by the way, that's just how she feels. And now if Kyra talked about like within her own perspective, that's okay. But I understand that it doesn't, or we all understand that it doesn't apply to all people who are struggling with addiction. Then she proceeds to call her mom a bitch. And that's not cancer, fucker. That's you choosing oxy feels better than being a mom. She's obviously drunk here, guys. She's obviously drunk here. She's having a moment. And she was with her dad too, so maybe, she's with her dad and they're talking about their mom and they're drinking, so maybe she brought up some things, because this right here is just, I don't know. It doesn't seem like Kyra would post stuff like this. You know what I mean? Kyra doesn't even like to talk about this stuff. So I don't know. For sure, experience plays a huge part, but it's weird to plaster that on social media. Right? No, I agree. Exactly. Um, I don't usually talk about my experience. The only reason I'm talking about it here is because obviously I need to give kind of like context about how I feel, or like my opinions on like addiction, because it just like it correlates, it's relevant, it makes sense. But outside of this, I really don't, dude. I've been going through some damn health issues and I've been super vague about it. You know what I mean? I don't like to post like my personal stuff on here. But yeah, the last 7 months I've been going through my own issues, and it's just I don't like to post that personal stuff online, you know, because I don't know, I like to deal with it myself, and I'm not here for like pity parties either, you know what I mean, or for people to feel bad for me. Sometimes I'll talk to other people, but yeah, I don't think addiction is a disease, but addiction can start from your surroundings. Um, and that see the disease part comes from when you think of like, oh well, this joint is not a disease, right? Or whatever other drug. But when you take it for a long, long time and you become, it becomes a point to where you're like, you can't function without it. And then when you don't, you know, get high or get drunk or whatever, you your body reacts in certain ways, right? Well, again, they can rewire your brain and make you do things or say things that are kind of crazy, or just like that you wouldn't normally say. I guess not crazy, just not abnormally, like not you. You know what I mean? But the disease comes from like when you take it for so long, and like actually like physically affects your body. I actually saw this guy on TikTok recently. It's kind of funny that popped up too, but he is like a recovering alcoholic, and he like straight up had like I think he said it was like 20, 30 years addicted to alcohol, which is such a long time. And what he does is he has a TikTok to kind of like scare people away from like alcohol addiction. And what he does is like reenacts things that he's been through and how it affected his body. Like he would say that he has to take 3 shots of vodka with his coffee every morning, because if he doesn't, he would like be super shaky and his heart rate would spike to like 110 and just sitting down. So that's insane. That's where like the disease starts kicking in, and that's what I can understand about it. Like with my dad, he, you know, there's certain things that he did with meth or whatever that affected his body in certain ways that is considered a disease. It's I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's horrible. It's all horrible, to be honest. The action to take the drug is a choice, yes, but where is it? But addictive tendencies can be genetic. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm all on board for that. I 1000% feel that addiction is a disease. It's just, again, it depends. Like the action to do it. Like if you start doing it and then you get addicted and then it affects you, like it starts to affect you up here and physically, that's where like the disease starts kicking in, and then you become dependent on it. Like you have to take it. It's because, like I said, the guy, he got the shakes, and his heart rate would spike, and he would have to drink alcohol for his heart rate to calm down. Just think about that. That is insane. You know, that's insane to think that alcohol would calm his heart rate down, but that's just because his body could not function without it. I can't imagine that. Like truly. Anyways, let's see all our more of a grammar mistakes. Where was I? Can't relate. Well, she said she can't relate. Now, she may not have like had a, addiction. Well, I mean, except to like other things, but she you know possibly caused some trauma of her own. So there is that. Therefore, I'm a mom, not a fucking bitch ass sloppy mom. Yeah, she's definitely drunk talking like this. You know what I mean? Definitely drunk. Uh, what was it? Can't really see that. What does it say? Okay, it's too bright. Mom, it was my kids. I choice. I'm assuming she chose instead, but of Ivoxy. God, Kyra. To be honest, Kyra doesn't even have to be drunk for this. We've seen her make plenty of mistakes otherwise. Motherhood motherhood tastes better than your chalky drugs, bitch. Man, I mean, the way she's saying all these things kind of does sound like she's been drinking. But like I said, it doesn't take her drinking to make all these mistakes. I'm just checking something. 1 second. Booyah. Okay, so let me go through some of these comments. I bet she would view it differently if one of her kids one day struggled with addiction, God forbid, as a result of her childhood trauma she inflicted. Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing too, is that like I've dealt with a lot of addiction within my life. Me personally, like I would say I have an eating addiction. Not anymore, let me tell you, because of my new like health condition. It's gone, which is good and bad because can't eat shit. But anyways, my brother who is really young, like he's just turned like 18, but he struggled hardcore with I would say some drugs, but mostly alcohol. And man, I mean, he caused a lot of trauma himself. I mean, obviously he was young, so he's living with my mom, blah blah blah. But like it's like everybody becomes a victim too. You know what I mean? Because alcohol brought out a horrible side to him. That's not normal. My brother's not like that, but alcohol brought out a horrible side to him that you don't see, outside of that. And um my mom and my sisters were scared of him, you know? It's and my mom like tried really, really hard, and she is an ex addict herself. And she tried to deal with him, but it was like driving her to the brink, because it's hard. It's just like really rough to I guess deal or handle people who are who are lost or who have addictions. And he's not like anymore, thank God. Like he's better, he's doing good, he's working, like it's great. But it's her son, and there was just he was just causing so much like mayhem within the household. It's just I don't know, man. It's hard because it's my brother, and I know that's her son, and it's hard because they're going through their own thing and they're lost, but then it's also like it's causing you so much pain. It's insane, man. Yeah, that's rough. You can only help people who want to be helped. Exactly. And at the time, my brother didn't want to be helped, and now he's better. Now he's not doing anything. It's great. But when people don't want to be helped and they're lost, it's just there's like nothing you can do, man. Even when you're trying to be there and support them, and my mom was there. My mom was catering to him. My mom was doing things for him, just babying him and stuff like that. And he even took advantage of her in that regard too. I don't know. It's just nuts. I think addiction is a disease because an addict is not in the position to realize that is a choice. It was a class act when she wrote that while drunk. Oh, yeah, that's actually a little ironic, isn't it? That is actually a little ironic that she wrote all this. That like, addiction is not not a choice. It's a choice, not a disease. While she's drunk. Not saying she's addicted, but still, it's just irony. She broke up her family to find herself. Yeah, exactly. And the only thing we seen her find was Preston. That's it. Yeah, definitely trauma. More trauma, more victimhood, and it can be fine line between victim and abuser, especially when substance and addiction are involved. Yep. Kyra for sure has addictive tendencies and behaviors. She has traumatized her children in ways that are extremely detrimental. Her children will never have any immunity, and she chose her sex life over them. Yeah, no, that's a good point right there. See, that's a choice for sure. Like that's a conscious choice. Like I mean, she's like a repressed nymphomaniac, I guess. That's kind of like what I kind of think about her now, I guess. But she did choose her family, or she chose, to pursue Preston and her sex life over her kids, like, or over her family, and like destroyed them, like, or destroyed their life. What was? I mean, they were unhappy or whatever, blah blah blah. But still, I don't know, man. She has her own addictions, I guess. But not all addictions are diseases. Like her little thing with Preston, that's not a disease. And look what she did. She didn't just ruin like her 7-year relationship. And I'm not saying Oscar doesn't have any, you know, thing to do with it either, because obviously he has his own, part to play in that. But but still, Kyra aided in that. And then she also ruined. Weren't they actually married, Hannah and Preston? So she actually like ruined a marriage, and like she ruined other friendships. Like that's all her choice, you know. And it could stem from her childhood trauma, but it's like, why are you trying to cause more trauma if you're traumatized? You know what I mean? Obviously, it bothers her. So why are you doing it? One second. All right. Do you think the person that in the photo is Preston? Is that our dad? We'll get to that in a second. I'm about to switch to that. With my job, I have the opportunity to have conversations with addicts, and they don't want to be like that. They want it to stop. They regret their life choices, but you very quickly get into deep. Yeah, I agree. And like I said, and you get to a point too where your body needs like functions, like it needs to function off of your addiction, like off of these drugs and off of this alcohol. Otherwise, you have like a physical reaction. Like I said, the guy's heart rate would spike if he didn't have alcohol. Oh, what's on my head? It's a rag. Sorry. That's why I'm wet. That's why I'm wet. I'm not just like lactating over here. You know what I mean? I'm wet. Like this is just water. I'm out in my uh thing I built outside. It's not a shed. It was like a big ass like 10 by 14 dog kennel, but it's just like too hot for the dogs. So I come out here to record sometimes when I want some peace and quiet, and be able to record just fine. But it's 90 degrees out right now, guys. So it's hot. We're out here. Can you share more about your fitness journey? It will be good inspiration for many like myself. Yeah, absolutely. I actually do kind of plan to. I'm not changing my content. Like obviously I'm sticking to this drama and tea stuff and just obviously important topics too, but I also want to implement, some fitness and healthy lifestyle stuff like within my content. Like apply it to it as well. Not even just like directed videos. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a balance between everything, because I do want to talk about it, because um I used to be 300 pounds, man. You know what I mean? I used to be really out of shape, 300 pounds, and always had ups and downs. But you know, now I'm sitting at a pretty you know 222 pounds. So it's an accomplishment, and I know people need help with that, and I want to help people with that. The only thing, and it's a big thing, she did wrong was generalizing all addicts and all cases of addiction. Her trauma is her trauma. She could have put it out just like that and maybe found support. That's what we said earlier, is that addiction is not universal, right? So the fact that she kind of made it seem like it is, it's kind of crazy, because there's a lot of different like versions of addiction, or like things people do. Like I said, there's people who are lost who don't really affect anybody. There's people who are um lost, but it affects the whole household and friends, family, all that noise. And then there's people who will use like who are like fueled by their addiction and are just these garbage to people, which was like my stepdad. He's like the devil. You know what I mean? He's disgusting. And um he'll play victim, but he's also choke slammed me against the wall when I was a minor. So I don't feel bad for him. But that's my experience with him. I just know that's a version of addiction, of a certain addiction that doesn't apply to everybody. You know what I mean? Just because my stepdad, like, got drunk and choke slammed me against the wall doesn't mean your stepdad did or somebody else's mom did or their brother, sister, whatever. That's just what happened with me in that version, or my perspective, I guess. Just because you're not a drug addict doesn't mean you're not traumatized your kids in other ways. Yep, exactly. There's plenty of ways to traumatize people, let me tell you. Yeah, the heat, bro. The heat is like 90 degrees, between 90 and 100 every single day. I'm on a fitness journey too. That would be awesome to see for our motivation. Yeah, if you want to DM me on Instagram, Lynn, you're more than welcome to. Just go to one of my links somewhere. It's not in this video, not yet, but if you want to chit chat about some fitness stuff, please feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'll help you in any way. Anybody, Hey, what's up, Nat Chan? Hope you're doing good too. It's freezing in Australia, 7 degrees. Damn. Yeah, it will get cold eventually. It needs to taper down a little bit because it's hot out here. While you're rotating your life around, it seems like. Oh yeah, for sure. Man, my life's been pretty crazy. You have no idea how much it turned around. Kyra's addiction was spending money, so she can't talk much. Let's see. All right. Let's go to this last photo. There it is. Okay, so here is this one. What does it say? If you can't get over who's loving me and making me feel so damn special and beautiful, wrong Instagram. So basically what she's saying here is, and now people are questioning if that's her dad or Preston, but just think about what she says. She says, if you can't get over who's loving me and making me feel so damn beautiful and special, you're on the wrong Instagram. That's not about her father. Like, no one would question why her father loves her. You know what I mean? That's her father. The context, in context to her words is basically like she's talking about Preston here. This is Preston she's talking about here. And she's also kind of like inched him in a little bit, kind of throwing him in there a little bit in her Instagram stories and whatnot to show that he's there. Eventually she will bring him online, eventually. But, if this was like anyone else, I don't think anybody would have a problem. I'm not saying that she wouldn't get grief, She wouldn't get grief for being with somebody else. Maybe she would from some people because, they stand Oscar, or because the reason why people don't like what happened was because she cheated on Oscar with whoever. From what I hear, it wasn't Preston. But then shortly after the breakup, like within a couple months, she was being her podcast with Hannah ended, which created speculation. And then Preston's Instagram disappeared. More speculation, more suspicion. And then you come to find, and that picture came up of them in like Las Vegas. So they were together. She ruined a marriage. And so did Preston, by the way. It's not just Kyra. It's both of them. Just like Oscar had a part to play into maybe why Kyra felt the way she did, whatever. And not that he deserved what she did, but still, like, he had his own part to play within the relationship. And then Preston had his part to play in how Hannah got her dirty. You know what I mean? So they ruined, the marriage together, the relationship with Hannah together, them being best friends. Preston and Oscar were friends at one point too. So, if it wasn't, it's all about context. You know what I mean? It's all about what happened. And with what happened, That's why people are mad. That's why people don't, like, feel bad for you. That's why people don't sympathize with you, and that's why people don't want to see you with Preston, is because of everything that came with it, you know what I mean? Now, if they broke up, like, if Oscar and Kyra broke up, Kyra took some time to actually find herself, and then eventually, let's even say around this time, found somebody, not Preston, somebody else, again, contacts, then I don't think people would have a problem. Maybe some, but everyone? No, I think everyone would be pretty fine. Like, so I may be remembering wrong, but did you at one point have contact with Hannah? Um, I talked to Hannah and Kyra on their podcast that one time. That's about it. I tried to contact Hannah outside, no, but I had somebody else contact. One of my followers were in contact with Hannah, and they gave me the screenshots that I posted up where she like confirmed that they were together. And then even though people were saying it's photoshopped, I don't need to Photoshop it. It's dumb, but she confirmed it. And then like since I posted that, then the Hannah blocked that person. It was funny. Like right after the breakup was announced or the Vegas trip. Wait, huh? Wait. Uh, I don't recall. I feel like abandonment from her mom compromised her self-worth. She dates others people's men to boost her self-esteem, has the sudden obsession with sex because it makes her feel desirable. Well, you know what's weird too is that like um it's been like this for a long time, and just got done covering for I guess the last couple weeks was their how we met video, and at the end of that video, Kyra states that she doesn't know why girls get so upset when you want to like bang their boyfriends. Like that's still Kyra today. You know what I mean? That's bad, and I agree. It could maybe all this stuff comes from Kyra's past trauma. Maybe so. You know, maybe that's the case, but who really knows? I just know that trying to sleep with somebody else's boyfriend is wrong, and they have every single right to be mad at you or anybody's partner. Like there's like you should not think it's okay to sleep with somebody's partner behind their back or any of that, or even in front of them or whatever, unless they're okay with it. But if not, just leave it alone. It's all an act of a very mentally unwell person. She doesn't like adventure or doing anything fun. Yet here she is pretending all of a sudden she does. It's all a show and an act. It will end in tears. Yeah, maybe so, lady. And I was actually talking to my wife about this yesterday, I think. And what we've noticed too is that Kyra has been doing more things, because you know how she wasn't doing anything with Oscar, like she wouldn't, and then the moment she like after the breakup she goes snowboarding, everybody was like, whoa, you're actually doing something with Oscar after you break up and not before. And she was like, oh, I was pregnant the whole time, but she's had plenty of time to do stuff with Oscar. She's just making an excuse, but she never did anything with Oscar. But now with Preston, she's doing everything with them. Like I think she was doing, like, she went golfing, she's doing this stuff, she goes to all sorts of places, you know? I think she was going on horseback riding too, I think. So it's like, why is that? She didn't want to do anything with Oscar. So no wonder your like relationship was bad, because you didn't want to do anything. Not saying that Oscar didn't want to do anything either, because come on. Oh, nice, Melanie. Where are you from in Oregon? She says she's been to therapy on and off her whole life, and and then she's done with therapy. Yeah, it's funny that she says that, because she's also had other like Q&As or whatever where people talk about the therapy stuff, and she says she's never been. So it's like, which one, my guy? Let me scroll up. Where are the screenshots posted? I had one. If you were talking about like the one with Hannah, I have it on my community tab somewhere. Just one. Should be able to find it fairly easy, but it's from a few months ago. She just needs to let it all out so there's no assumptions instead of sitting there acting like people are stupid. I know, right? These vloggers think we're all dum-dums, but we're on to them. Weird. So I only care to lie, right? All right, let's see. Whoa, hang on. Okay. Scrolling through these comments. It's like 100 degrees in Miami. Damn. Yeah, it's hot, man. And it's probably muggy as hell there too, because it rains a lot. We haven't been getting any rain here in Oregon, which is shocking because it rains here a lot. I don't think Kyra's a sex addict. She didn't even like sex unless it was to get pregnant. She only wants more now to try and impress her new lover. It's not her deep down. I'm certain. I don't know. I think she does have a sex addiction because, like, I mean, she created a whole podcast about sex, and if you actually like listen to it, it seems like she wanted to do, or at least she wanted to experiment. Maybe not a sex addiction. She just wanted to do more, I guess, rather than what her and Oscar were doing or something like that. Because there was obviously some like repressed feelings there, and she would get like mad on the podcast with like Oscar for like no reason at all, just because he said something that she didn't like. She should just refill him the money from the views. I mean, that's all she cares about. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. Like, no matter when she decides to put it out, she's going to eventually reveal him. So just reveal him already, make that money, you know? She wants to buy a house, right? I'd rather exploit the drama than whatever, you know, or than her kids. She wanted attention all on her, yeah. I can't believe Preston and Oscar are on vacation together now, discussing if Kyra to being Preston. Wait, Preston and Oscar on vacation together? What? What are you talking about there? Yeah, I was like, bro, we didn't understand when you say vacation, bro. What are you talking about? Like where? Oh yeah. See, I don't know about. Holding all of this can't be good for her mentally, though. She's going to crack eventually. Yep, I agree. I think because Oscar's stories, it looks like they might be in the same place. I can't imagine like Oscar would want to do that. Her grammar is horrible. Yeah. Wasn't Kyra all about what? And now and Hannah, she was into Preston. Really did all that for some booty. Yeah, I guess so. She's changing who she really is to fit with Preston. I mean, she is like a chameleon. I'll agree with that. And to get him to like her more, it's a sad thing some people do when they don't know who they are. She's real. She likely did the same with Oscar. Yeah. No. Well, you know, in the How We Met video, Kyra talks about, you know, how they got together. And it seemed like Kyra was jealous of her friend. She acts like she wasn't, and she didn't really want Oscar, but then end up saying that, well, it's her turn, and that he dated all her friends. So I don't know. It seemed like she was also like facilitating all of his relationships with those friends. So it's super weird. You know what I mean? It's just super weird. So I'm thinking that she was jealous the whole time and wanted him. She just didn't have him at the time, you know? Yeah. Okay. There, take this damn rag off my head. All right. One thing about influencers is they'll buy homes, cars, etc., but won't pay to go to therapy. So many people wish they had those resources, right? Seriously, they have all this stuff, but they don't want to pay for something that's not materialistic. This is a girl that wouldn't pay for shots to make sure her girls were not premature. No way she's paying for therapy. Damn. True. There's an old wives, there's an old wives want to pay for shit. Or no, there we go. There's an old wife saying that stories, you lose them how you found them. She got Oscar cheated and she lost him cheating. Yeah, exactly. Right? And Oscar ain't guilty in that one either, because that was a really bad look on Oscar's part as well. And the fact that they were older saying this, just damn, you know? Damn. She quit therapy because it was too expensive. Yeah. She had plenty of money. Or at least eventually she did. No way he would allow Kyra to bring Preston, especially around his family, right? Nobody would want that. I definitely think they're not doing that. They're not vacationing together. How do you all know she cheated? Well, Oscar said so in the thing that she cheated. He said that she sort of kind of cheated. So you don't sort of kind of cheat. You just cheat or you don't. You know what I mean? Kara would benefit from going back to study for her GED. Yeah, that's for sure. Especially since she will need to learn about to market herself outside of her online presence soon. Her grammar and education will become an issue soon. Yeah, I agree. And to be honest, or on top of what you said, she also needs to learn how to do that because she won't be able to exploit her kids as much, you know? In one video, Kyra said that therapy was stupid and she didn't believe in it. Right there. I remember that one too. Yeah. I think she did graduate. I remember a video at Oscar's mom's house for graduation, unless that was for Oscar. No, it was for Kyra. Oscar did that for Kyra, which I was like, oh, that's pretty nice of him. It's pretty cool of him. But apparently she didn't pay attention. So how does she graduate? You know what I mean? Preston isn't making money. She is paying for everything for him. She'll have to go back to school and complete some type of education. Well, apparently, Kyra's trying to help Preston get a job because he graduated. And I have some screenshots for that. I should do a video on that. I'll do another live soon, maybe tomorrow or something like that. We'll do it again. Yeah, it was a mock graduation. It was. He was doing it for her, like, because she did graduate, but she didn't have a graduation, so he did it for her as like a kind gesture. I was like, okay, Oscar, that's pretty nice. Yeah. Did you see her new house? It looks so bougie. No, I haven't looked at it. I've been gone, guys. Like I said, I've been gone. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff. That's why I posted that community tab, last week or whenever, trying to figure out like what the hell's going on online, because been dealing, like I said, with my own health issues. So like I have not been paying attention to anything. So I'm just kind of like catching up on everything right now. But I will have a video out tomorrow. I got a nice, decent sized video coming out tomorrow. Maybe I'll backtrack and go look at that or something like that. Or maybe check out like YouTuber Helen's video, because I know she covered it. She didn't graduate. She dropped out completely. Oh, well, there you go. She shows a house tour and her putting on an offer on it. Oh, okay. She apparently put an offer on it that was accepted on the house. Oh, yeah. So I don't know any of these things. I haven't been paying attention. All right. I think that about sums it up, guys. I don't got nothing. There isn't. That was it. That was all those screenshots. How do you manage to do YouTube and your own businesses? I don't know. It's rough because I'm also a stay-at-home dad, so there's a lot of balance. I work, and I actually just picked up on another job. So technically, I'm working. YouTube, another job, and my own business. So it's like, it's a lot of balance, but you just gotta do it. You know what I mean? Try to make money. No, I thought she didn't have the money that she had to wait until Oscar sold the house. Maybe they sold it, right? I don't know. Yeah, they are cheap in Utah. How embarrassing. I'm not graduating for a dropout. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, that's true for Shonda. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Oh boy. Um, I'm not going to say my business because there's a certain creep in Canada who would love to, spam my business with fake reviews. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the side of YouTube where you got to watch out for that. So I just say I own my own business. I wish I could tell you what it was. I do want to get back into horse stall cleaning, man. That's what I want to do. I That's a business that I do want to start. I don't have one yet, so I don't mind saying that right now. But there's I've been cleaning horse stalls. I've been cleaning horse stalls for like a couple of years, and it's a good gig, man. You make a lot of money in a short period of time. It's hard work though, you know what I mean? But it's short work. Like you literally just you clean up, you just do like some farm work, or you clean up horse stalls or whatever, feed the horses, give them water, all that noise, and you make a decent amount of money. But the problem with it is very consistent. Like I was working 7 days a week on that. It was only like 2-3 hours a day, but it was every day. So but you make a lot of money. Y'all realize how much people pay for ads and stuff? She has the money for a house. Yeah, they the sponsorships and brand deals, they pay a lot of money. Kyra talked about how she turned down like a $25,000 brand deal one time. Yeah, the nasty dad. Good call. Yeah, exactly. Scrub. Okay. The listing status isn't always accurate. I had a closing 2 weeks ago, and the listing agent still hasn't updated the status. Oh, what's it? Oh no. Both houses are still listed and for sale, haven't sold. Wow. How is she affording the house? Yeah. No, again, brand deals and sponsorships, man. They pay a lot of money. And they're even with their vlogs, man, they pay a lot of money too. That's what I'm saying. People don't realize how much money you can make on YouTube. You know, you make a lot of money. She had a sponsor once for BetterHelp. I think I still think about that and laugh. Oh, yeah, didn't seek the help, but had the opportunity. My daughter has 4 horses. She loves the hard work for caring for them. But yeah, that hard, long work. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of work, but they need it. And it's always good to treat your horses good and make sure they have clean, fresh food and clean water every single day, and a fresh bed in their stall. They have a ton of money. Their early videos have so many views, and they don't buy $1 million homes. But yeah, but they did buy a lot of stuff. The problem is though, they also said they didn't have money for the kids. I think they have money, but I just don't know how much. And then I don't know. It seems like to me, it felt like they're kind of relying on their RV and truck being sold and the house being sold. So I know they have money. They have money, but how much is the thing? And money goes away when you're not making a lot. They bought their home for like 400,000 and can now sell it for. So that's a lot. All right. Anyways, guys, that's about it. Like I said, that's all the photos here. And that's my take on like addiction and Kyra apparently telling us all the F off her Insta for not over Preston or something. But I appreciate you all coming on here. Chatting with me, doing this. We'll do it again very, very soon. Not tomorrow, maybe the next day. Tomorrow I actually got a video pushed out, but I'll do the video on because Kyra apparently is like trying to get Preston a job. I don't know if she has yet. It's been a little bit, but I have some screenshots I want to show. We'll talk again. I really appreciate y'all come back on there. Again, we'll do this again. And I will I'm gonna be a little more consistent with videos now. I'm feeling better. Yes, like the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Appreciate all that. Comment down below too, not just in this chat. Comment down below in the comment section. Just put for the algorithm. I don't care. I appreciate it. But I'll be a little more consistent. I just, like I said, I was going through my own thing. Still am. Still roughing it. But I'm feeling better. And I have a lot of videos planned coming this month. And yeah, so I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks. Bye. Thanks. Appreciate it, guys.